keeping it moving. We started the day yesterday in Tallahassee, drove from Tallahassee to Gainesville, did a public event in Gainesville, then to Orlando. We have an opportunity to flip this state this year. Something we haven't done in Florida in 20 years. The Democratic nominee has lost the race for governor the last 2 times by less than 70,000 votes.
Shame!
In a state of over 20 million people. Well, I want to tell you, the way we're going to win this race, y'all, is not by running from who we are and what we believe in. It's not by running Republican light. It's going to be by standing firmly on the values that we hold, that bring this state together, and that we shouldn't be embarrassed to have.
Amen.
We shouldn't be embarrassed to say that this state deserves Medicaid expansion.
Amen.
We shouldn't be embarrassed to say that public money should go toward public schools and not toward for-profit services. We shouldn't be afraid to say that weapons of war have no place on our city streets. We shouldn't be afraid also to say that women ought to make their own reproductive health decisions. Not a judge, not a jury, not a lawyer, not even a governor, be it a man or a woman, but an individual woman ought to make her own reproductive health decisions. We ought to be able to say without apology that this state ought to be a forgiving state. That once you've committed a crime and you paid your debt to society, you ought to get out and be able to reintegrate into society, have your rights to vote, but also have the ability to work a job and earn a wage where you can take care of yourself and your family. I'm proud as the mayor of the city of Tallahassee to have banned the box. I'm glad we don't ask about criminal background issue because we would lose out on tremendous talent.
Yes.
Could you imagine if those of us in this room were measured only by our worst days? Right?
Lord have mercy.
Think about it. Some of y'all got more to think about. Right? But that isn't the American way. That's not the American way. The American way is that anybody from anywhere, regardless of the decisions that you may have made, incidental, small ones, ones that have landed you in the criminal justice system, you shouldn't have to perpetually pay for that mistake. You ought to be able to reintegrate into society. And yes, civil rights is a part of it, but also the right to earn ought to be a part of reintegrating into society.
For sure.
Y'all, we ought to have a governor, one who believes in science, who recognizes that global warming and climate change is real. And the good news to dealing with that is that there's an economy in making this state a more resilient state in the face of climate change. Florida ought to be teaching the rest of the world.
Leaders.
Right? We ought to be leading. Right now we're back of the pack in almost every major area. Healthcare, back of the pack. Education, back of the pack. Wages, back of the pack. Starting salaries for teachers, back of the pack. Economy. When it comes to people being able to earn a wage where they can take care of themselves and their family, 44% of Floridians say that they cannot make ends meet.
Shame.
That's a problem. And shame is right. Listen, I grew up watching my mother and father trade between which bills they could pay before something got turned off. We deserve a different kind of state. We deserve a different kind of future for our children. And I tell you one thing, when I'm elected governor, we're going to put our shoulder to the wheel in leaning into these challenges, not running away from them, but by standing up to them. And I tell you, the biggest bully we're going to stand up to on jump is going to be the NRA and the gun lobby. That's the biggest bully we're going to stand up to. And if you don't believe me, judge me by my past. They drugged me through court for 2 years because they wanted us to repeal our city ordinance, which simply said you can't shoot guns in city parks. Well, the good news is that they did not intimidate me. Right?
Yeah.
Some of y'all say, but can't shoot guns in city. This is basic. Right? This is common. I have to admit myself, it's the most benign piece of law ever. Right? But it's an example that common sense ain't so common. In this state anymore.
Sure.
This ought not be a red or a blue issue. Right? This is an American issue. This is an issue for all Floridians. That when you send your kids off to school, you shouldn't have to worry about picking them up in a body bag. Right? And that for our communities that are ravaged by gun violence every day, that every one of our kids ought to be able to have the safety and security to go from their home to their school without neighborhood gun violence. Right?
Yes.
But it requires a governor with a North Star in order to get us there. Well, we have a North Star for where we want to go, right? So I just simply have to say that I can't get there by myself. I'm trying to be the best candidate I can be. I'm proud to be the mayor of Florida's capital city and to be the mayor of the city that is the leading economy in the state of Florida per capita. Fastest growing in the state, 17th fastest growing in the country. I'm proud to be a mayor where we are experiencing a 5-year low in our crime rate, and we didn't do that by just locking people up and throwing away the key. We leaned into smart justice, offering second chances, adult and youth civil citations. Our criminal justice system needs real reform. We need bail reform. Y'all remember we were supposed to have gotten rid of the debtor's prison. Yet 60% of people in jails in this state today are there not because they've been found guilty, but because they're awaiting a date in court and couldn't make bail. Right? So we got to have some real reform happen. Y'all, I'm sick of losing these races.
Oh, man.
I'm sick of losing. Last time we elected a governor was 1994.
God, Emmer.
Lawton Childs. I love this A-man corner, by the way. Y'all done messed up my A-man corner. The leader himself is the A-man corner, keeping me alive this morning. Thank you for that. All right? But I can't do it by myself. I need your help. I need your organizing. I'm the only non-millionaire running for governor. But it doesn't terrify me because money doesn't vote, people do. And if we show up, if we vote, we can win. And so what I need you to do is I need you to join this coalition. I need you to get a Gillum shirt out there. I need you to get a Gillum pen. I need you to talk to everybody who you can. I need you to take our literature, pass it out, share it with people. There are only going to be about 1 million or so voters in this primary, y'all, in a state of 20 million people. Right? And there are 5 of us in this race, and there are no runoffs, which means our winning candidate could get 20% of the vote plus 1 and win. Right? This is wholly doable. This is wholly doable. I believe that we will win. Right? I believe that we will win. But it's not enough for me to believe it. We all have to believe it. But we got to do more than that. We got to go out and work for it. Now I'm a believer.
Gotta work.
And if we get up, if we walk, if we register, if we move people, if we take them to the polls, if we log as many votes as we can in this area, we can win. And provide some common sense leadership again in this state. It ain't rocket science. It's simply having a goal for where we want to go, a heart enough to care about it, and the will to work to get it done. Well, I check all those boxes. And with your help, we're going to become the next governor of the great state of Florida. God bless you.
We got to vote. Everyone got that clear, right? But we got to not just vote ourselves, we got to get other people to vote, right? And we need to make sure they're registered Democrat, because that's the only way they can vote for this man in the primary. I don't care if you switch your party back to no party independent the next day. You register Democrats to vote for this man. You got it? We need to